The following program contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and the girls, welcome to Ox After Dark, the late night great night show where Dean the Dream Martin, Classy Thomas, Lane the Legend Kramer, John the Everyday Collector, and 1.7K Chuck talk about our dreams, our lives, our trials, our tribulations, and more. Dean, how are we doing today?
Dear Lord, you're the guy.
I just like changing it up a little bit.
Okay.
See, when you do it 200 times, Dean, you got to change it up a little bit.
Yeah, what are we at today?
226.
226.
It may say 326 on YouTube. Ignore that. That was an accident. But 226 is where we're at.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Today was a pretty good day. Had some Mickey D's, so that was cool. I'm trying to think if anything crazy has happened to me this week. I know online has been all fucking over the place, just with keeping up with 20K subs. Thank you guys. And just the
You
internet
get that
in
new-
general, you know how crazy it is.
You get that new sauce, Dean? You get that new garlic, whatever it is, the sauce?
What, at McDonald's?
Yeah, the Jujutsu Kaisen sauce.
Oh, no, I just got burger.
Oh, okay. Apparently there's a new sauce out for Jujutsu Kaisen.
I know I'm fat,
crossover.
but you don't have to be like, did you get the new sauce drop?
Hey, man, my nephew got it, and literally my girlfriend's youngest son was like, can you go get some nuggets so that I can get the sauce and collect it? I was like, we got to talk about collecting, man.
Yeah, well, they did that crazy Rick and Morty sauce, the Szechuan sauce.
Szechuan sauce.
That was
Yeah.
fucking crazy. People are going nuts for that. But no, that me and John just did a stream over on his channel, The Everyday Collector. Shout out, John.
Appreciate it.
Did the Berserk Prime 1 showcase.
Oh, nice.
New Guts and Casca statue. It was super cool, but fuck, it's expensive.
Yeah. I would never think I'd ever get into anime, but
I know, it's crazy. I was like, dude, I can't believe we're here. But John, yeah, actually, I'll let John tell his story. But,
Yeah. Oh, see, are you enjoying the anime, John?
it's crazy.
oh, Berserk! Oh yeah, man, I really love that story. I got my first statue coming from
Oh.
yeah, so that's how you know it's downhill from there.
Which one did you get?
The Slan and Ubik,
Nice.
the Prime
yeah,
one. So.
Slan, dude, she's sexy. Fucking bitch.
Yeah,
She's like 200 feet tall, the size of Godzilla. As
Ubik's
are
the
all
guy that kind of
members
looks like CeeLo Green, right?
yeah.
Fuck.
I'm going crazy.
Nah, I will never be able to look at that statue without thinking about
God,
that.
damn,
Am
that
I
was
right?
funny.
I've only watched the anime like once.
Yeah, it's him.
With the little
That's
glasses.
Yeah, because there's Void, the guy that looks like Mars Attacks.
Yeah.
Okay,
Slam.
with the brain.
Ubik,
Green, bro.
Femto, and then who's the other one?
Femto's
the,
Griffith, right?
Conrad.
Yeah, Conrad.
Conrad.
I always
Look at-
thought
Conrad
the,
and Ubik are very similar.
I always
Yeah.
thought the one Centibite from Hellraiser looked kind of like CeeLo
Cenobite?
Green too. The one with the little.
Oh, the
glasses.
fat one with the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a strange looking one right there.
Oh wow.
But that was super fun streaming over there with John, and
Okay.
actually like, because I always preach Berserk to people about when I tell them to get into anime, and John finally, he entered the church, so
Wow.
that was really beautiful.
And I've only
this.
seen the first arc, so there's more. There's more to watch.
I know, dude. I was, yeah, dude. There's a lot more Slan and fucking Griffith and Skull Knight, and yeah, dude, that story gets crazy. So I'm excited for.
Which
John
is
to
the one where they're
experience
trapped in the castle and then the Skull Knight comes? Which one? Which arc is that one?
that. That's the Black Swordsman arc.
Black Swordsman.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, that's after
Golden Age.
Yeah.
when he runs into
But then after Lost Children,
no, that's the one with that like priest guy, the
Yeah,
Pope.
no. Yeah, no, that was after Lost Children. That was before the summoning.
Yeah,
So much
yeah.
guts.
So
Lord.
that's a really
It
cool
is.
arc. That's on HBO Max, I believe. That whole Black Swordsman arc.
Yeah,
was
with
it?
then leading
Berserk
up.
armor.
Yeah,
But I don't think they're continuing that anime. So
yeah, it's been a few years. That was like 2019 or 2020.
There's a continuation happening in 2025 apparently.
yeah, but it's a
Yeah,
it's a fan anime.
Oh, it's a fan.
It's not
of-
official.
so
it's
it's not
probably
canon.
going to be fucking fantastic, but it's not
Yeah.
official. So
official. Okay.
and it's going to be retreading some ground and stuff like that. But I think they're going to show like the full Lost Children arc and stuff like that.
yeah, so
Heck yeah.
We
It
got
was good to see you.
Toy Mafia, Bob Dylan, Chuck, Lemur Hernandez. Congrats on the 20K and Bats in the Belfry. Thank you, Lemur.
What's going on,
Appreciate
Lemur?
Hey guys.
that. Boy, we
Toy Mafia.
let's see here. Thomas, tell us how your day's been.
Okay. Yeah, today's been pretty good. You know, I had a doctor's appointment today, and I think we kind of figured out some of the, at least part of the issues that I've been having with these stomach issues. I mean, of course, last week I was sick. I think I got a touch of food poisoning, and so I mean my stomach swelled up to like double its size,
God damn, bro.
and it was hurting so bad, and I thought I had to go to the toilet, and nothing happened. But then I got this little sign that always tells me when I'm about to throw up. I don't know if this happens to anybody else. It tastes like metal in my mouth, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh boy, here it comes, and threw up just about everything that was in my stomach, and my stomach just immediately reduced in half. But then by that time I was just so wiped out, all I could do was just lay down. So, you know, went to the doctor today, and he found out that, you know, showed me that I have a hernia that I have to go in for repair, and I also have to see a pulmonologist because I'm not getting enough oxygen, because I would go and do things and get real dizzy and feel like I was on the verge of passing out. And they said, well, you're only getting about, you know, probably about 85% oxygen into your system. So they said, take some deep breaths. They said, look, we had to work them just to get it up to 90. I was like, damn, didn't know all this was happening. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully in August, a lot of this will be resolved. But in the meantime, I'm just drinking fluids and trying not to pass out. So
Well, hopefully,
yeah.
you get a clean bill of health soon, because
I hope so. But yeah, but other than that, you know, everything else is going pretty well. I've been getting in. Oh, all right. I went online because I still have some outstanding figures from TW in Hong Kong,
boy.
and so it's like, let me go over there and find out what's going on. So I tried to pull them up, and the store is no longer there. Evidently, they changed their name again.
Toys Apollo, bro.
Toys Apollo, yeah. And I was like, oh boy, okay, what did you do this time? Did I have to change the name? So I'm gonna get in touch with them and ask them about the status. I said, look, I have I think 4 figures that I paid for the shipping last year around this time, so it's almost been a year. And I was like, look, I know you said it's a second batch, but look, this is probably about the 22nd batch by now. Give me my shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, so hopefully I'll be getting some more figures in the mail pretty soon.
Jesus. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
That is crazy. We got Austin Nicholas in the chat. I love that guy.
Austin.
CM13, the collector. What a sweet guy. I
He
love
is.
Austin. I love that guy.
Big, muscular, adorable fella.
Handsome guy. Handsome guy. Lane, tell us, you have a figure for sale. Tell us what's going on there.
Oh yes, so I did put up. I'm selling the Mark III. I've had a couple people from CW express interest in it already.
Yes.
When I posted up, everybody was like, "Hey, are you doing a trade?" Or some guy offered me $300 for it, and I was like, "No." But I am primarily selling that because I did pre-order the Red and Chrome Mark III, which I've had a lot of people go, how can you not just want to keep the OG? That's a better figure. I'm like, well, that one looks cooler to me. That's quite simply the reason why. And it looks cooler. It's the Mark III, and it's Silver Centurion colors. And Silver Centurion has my favorite color scheme. So,
Can
Hey,
respect that.
man, it's your money, your collection. It's all that matters.
yeah.
JG
So,
Wentworth, baby.
but I will say it will get you cash money now. I will say it was interesting. It kind of the dichotomy for how that one yesterday was just up and like, hey, people pre-ordered it and whatever, And then of course you had the usual showdown bloodbath countdown to doom through the for that Wolverine today, which I was surprised was the same price as the regular one. I
Me too.
swore
Holy shit, is it really?
Yeah, it was 160.
Wow.
I thought it was going to be like 170, 175.
That's what
something
Dean was
like a
saying
little bit more.
yesterday.
Yeah, but it was 160 the same price. So I had it up for once. I actually did on my main computer and I did it on my phone. I was like 3,532 on my computer and number like 1,100 or something on my phone. So I did get through it and I picked it up.
But the thing I don't understand is, what is the purpose of making an limited edition exclusive for an entry level toy?
Well, I've already, that was something I was going to talk about if Hot Toys Hotline would go on live yesterday. Is I don't that is like that is an oxymoron, the same level almost of oxymoron of how you have a DX deluxe figure. Somehow in the lexicon, Hot Toys has created that, even though you're left going like, what? With a confused look on your face. But I kind of do like that whole kind of scene where you get in line, kind of things like that. I did it for the, Mark 7 black and gold one they had. I didn't end up picking it up, but I kind of like that because it does give that little bit of short-term competition, which can be fun sometimes now, obviously, if you're just like, that is my favorite character and I want to get it, it sucks. If you don't get in line for it, but,
I would have fucking fallen apart if the fucking symbiote was exclusive or whatever. I'm so fucking pissed. The Hono.
Yeah. But, honestly, this week's been pretty boring for me. But I will say that I did for the first time in the last week or week and a half, I actually chatted a little bit with like Jay from Legendary Beast Studios, the owner, the guy who runs it. And it was kind of interesting because, I know he was, I never really for like other than Amp maybe at PCS sent some information, say, hey, how are you doing? I said, hey, I caught your channel stream. And he actually talked to me for on and off. He's like, I'm kind of trying to work on a statue concept. And I said, well, sir, on the other side of your world, it's the morning, so you should probably be focusing on that. And I'm not going to interrupt you from them. He's like, that's okay. And so that was an interesting experience in the last week. But I am fantastic. I loved your guys' some of your discussion last night about some of the stuff and everything. This is the fun time to be a figure collector. It's financially painful, obviously too, but that's year round, 12 months a year. It's always financially painful. But I really thought you guys had some cool discussions and everything. And, I'm enjoying it. Can't wait. I honestly cannot wait in a couple of weeks for Summer Showcase. I wanted to get here. I'm really interested to see what they do. Are we going to be talking about Acolyte episode 7 tonight? Like the second half?
Possibly. There's a possibility. Okay. Have you watched it?
Oh yeah, ever since episode 5, I've watched every episode.
I would like to. It just depends on time. On time. But last week we didn't get to it, but I actually enjoyed this week's episode.
I also want to give just a real plug out to Mr. John because his channel I think's had some banger shows the last couple of weeks and everything.
I'll hang that.
I've been catching him on replay when I can and everything. The statue community, I think even more in the 6 scale, feels like sometimes, especially for getting stuff in right now, seems to be worse like what WTF is going on right now versus even like any 6 scale. But John and his crew have managed to find stuff to keep talking about, even if sometimes you're like, what is going on?
Appreciate it, Lane. Thanks for the kind words, man. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's always stuff to talk about, even if we just turn on the camera and talk about.
I just want to go. What do we want to see in the next 2 years? Hopefully.
Yeah. There's always something.
There you go.
Would appreciate the kind words. Though.
John, how are we doing today?
Been good. Just hanging out. This week, nothing too crazy. I bought the kiddos one of those 4-wheelers, so they can go outside and the battery powered ones. It was bought for my son, right? Because he's older. I bring the thing home, charge it. I'm excited. Yeah, the kid's scared of it. My daughter, a year old, I sit her in it. She's laughing. A year old, she's laughing at it.
Yeah,
it's backwards. It's always backwards.
Oh man, how was your son?
I think your son has learned fear though. Right?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Your daughter might not know that.
I throw Jurassic Park on, so yeah, he's definitely learned fear.
Jesus.
But
Yeah, that's good.
you're right.
Not getting Vivi one of those. That's one of my biggest regrets. Like those little Power Wheels.
How old is she?
Well, I think she's probably just barely old enough where it wouldn't make sense, but she's 7.
Yeah. Oh, she's 7. Okay. They have bigger ones with for older kids and stuff, but
Yeah.
at that point you can even look at a go-kart when she gets
Yeah.
to the certain
That's
age.
when I'm
But,
looking at a car, bro.
yeah, exactly.
Uh,
Yeah, and other than that, it's we've been hanging out. The live stream was fun today with Prime One with Dean. It was great to have Dean on, and yeah, the endless journey of Berserk now.
Oh, don't
But it's
worry.
gonna-
Now it's going to consume your existence for a while.
Yeah, but collecting's getting expensive. You gotta really, especially being on YouTube, you gotta really focus and kind of know where you
Where your
stand
lane
in
is.
the hobby. Yeah,
I got 6 Hot
100%.
Toys, bro.
I can't wait to see for all the people who are going to try and pick up that Guts and
It's like
Casca.
a
It's like how far in the back are you going to have to like back it into some of the other parts of the collection there because of the content, basically. Of
The
that
content,
stuff,
yeah.
you know?
It's okay. Little feathers. I'll have to do that with Slan. Little feathers over the chest.
For dusting?
No, because she's like naked, right?
Oh, sorry, my headphones.
Oh,
popped
no
up, so
problem.
what you're talking about.
No, her full body's naked.
Oh,
She's
Oh,
literally
yeah.
she's like the living incarnation of lust. I mean,
She's
Yeah,
a
that's
she's a
lame.
succubus.
yeah,
dude, she could
she's
suck my
like
bits.
yeah, she's literally like the force of nature of lust. And
Yeah,
unfortunately,
It's cool.
for Guts, he finds her a little too. She finds him very quote interesting.
yeah.
Yeah.
But other than
so
that's been
she's-
fun. Some soccer. Euro Cup, I think, is winding down, and
Damn, dude, England might bring it home, but they got Spain, bro. Spain looks.
I stopped watching after. Is it who's the
Portugal?
final? Yeah, I stopped watching.
England versus Spain.
That's the final. Oh wow.
Yeah, it's gonna be
I think
good.
Spain
mean-
is gonna take it. Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
they got that kid, dude.
U.S.
Spain's
team just
wild.
fired their coach today because they failed miserably in Copa
couldn't make it to the
America.
group stage. Yep.
They lost
Well,
to Panama, man.
And Copa de America was Argentina
We
versus
host-
Canada in the final, which was wild. Of course, Argentina won.
Yeah, but no, Americans failed. They lost to two teams they should not have lost to. in the
Well,
stage
soccer's
round.
not the only thing they failed at. But that's okay.
Well, America likes to bat 500 every once in a while. What can you do?
There you go.
Anyways, thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Chuck, how are we doing today?
Today is okay. Today is better than the rest of the week was kind of wild. I'll tell you guys about it. But before I do, I want to reiterate what Lane said last night. I caught a lot of last night's show, and it was good, really good. But I'm a little sad tonight, guys, because one of the things that last night's show had that's missing tonight is what Zach brought, which was the gun show. So I thought that I'd pay a little homage to
Wow.
the Oxfather. And
Whoa.
lose the sleeves. You know what I mean? You gotta lose the sleeves, guys.
Uh-oh.
So I was hoping we could all maybe do the same
Wow.
thing.
Wow, are you
Yeah,
gonna like
Chuck is
like
shredded.
you know?
are you gonna like Mike Tyson
Chuck
punch
is
out
shredded.
super macho man us? Did you flex the
You know,
muscles?
I was almost gonna message all you guys one off and be like, everybody don't wear sleeves so we can fuck with Zach.
Man, you'll almost see these little garden snakes over here. So
Well, I'd like to think of mine as like Little Caesar's breadsticks. You know what I mean? Just like buttery
Wow.
and,
Oh.
and
Dude, so
no
I put that
shape to
shirt
them.
on. I put that shirt on literally just for the stream last night. So I was like, it's still clean. I'm gonna wear it today. I've never felt more naked in the real world. This part of me doesn't get a lot of sun. It's very bright compared to the rest of my skin.
You know, what I
Oh my
noticed-
God! Look at this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had the guns out, dude. I went and ran errands, dude.
Dude.
I felt like Hulk Hogan, dude. I was calling
got-
everybody brother all day.
Hey, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine was really, really bad. I mean, it's still pretty bad now. But
Aspiring
because I played
influencers after one
football,
day.
so I used to be real dark because I got so much sun. And it was like, yeah, it was really bad.
Well, boy, I have to say right now for the Canadian national sport, Bob Dylan is just really going USA, USA right
Bob's a
at Mr.
savage.
John right now.
Savage.
Hey, Tom Mafia, I saw you in chat. I did want to ask before.
He
Shep
did.
was gonna let us-
He chimed in. He got it. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
so you
nice.
got everything.
He hasn't sent me my digital code, but he's got it.
Yeah. I saw that
Well,
you know, too, we got Austin Nichols in the chat of all times to
Nicholas,
say I
yeah.
wasn't gonna wear sleeves. Austin Nichols,
dude,
I
that
said,
guy's
man,
swole, dude. Beautiful human being.
we need to get him on without sleeves on the chat. Bring in the female
Jesus.
audience.
That's
No, man,
not
this
guns,
week.
dude. That's bazookas.
We should use the acolyte for like you know, that can be Chuck's episode. What was it, 5 there with
Chuck
Sith
Mears
Man?
instead of
He's
Chimera.
gonna Chuck's goal for the year is to get as Sith as possible, so he can
Yeah.
get sub built up as Quimir or however that guy says his name is.
Kinda.
That was the most
Yeah.
of a Sith Lord
Kinda.
we'd ever seen before since Kylo Ren. We saw so much.
Dude,
Yeah,
I saw,
hey.
no, I've seen Darth Maul's penis. I saw the red rocket.
What?
Man,
Yeah,
all I gotta
if you know,
say
you
is
know.
that if Count Dooku had worked himself up a little bit more like that, maybe he wouldn't have got so owned.
Yeah,
Anakin.
that's true. That's true, man. Christopher Lee, though, man, what a giant. But no, man, I got a root canal this week. That sucked.
Oh,
On Monday,
Terrible.
No, pass.
yeah, it's still hurting.
Terrible.
Still hurting right now. And then like our AC in the house went out, but we got it fixed. Luckily, same day. So if you're in San Antonio and need AC work, the AC gentleman can't say enough good things. They came out right away and got it fixed and at a good
What's up, random
price.
Korean?
What's up, random Korean?
Random Korean,
Wow.
what's going on, man?
Mr. Musashi Toy Mafia. Toy Mafia said you want that code, Zach. If you're not
Hey,
using
Vision.
it, no pressure. I will take it gladly. But again, no pressure. I don't want you to feel pressured to do that.
What code?
The digital code that come with the I think it's a 4K Blu-ray, but you put it into like Voodoo and then you
No, but for what movie?
House of the Dragon season 1.
Oh, right.
I mean, I have HBO. It's just I
How's
like to
season
just,
2 going? Does anybody know?
bro. It finally fucking
Bad
after
stuff
fucking
happened.
being blue balled for the first 3 episodes,
Yeah.
it finally fucking got some action going. God,
Yeah.
God, Jesus Christ! I was
That's what
waiting
we
for-
got on for Friday tomorrow. We're gonna do the first 4, talk about it. So be
I
some
felt like Jeff
spoilers.
Goldblum. I was like, "Are you gonna have any dragons in your dragon show?" Fuck, dude.
yeah.
Saving up the
Fucking
budget.
dragons. Thank you. Yeah, right. Apparently. Other than that, Chuck, everything good?
Yeah, man. Now, just on pain meds, so off the booze until I get off of
Damn,
antibiotics.
I never
and,
seen that.
and I know. See, you called me out. So I felt like, damn, I gotta.
No,
gotta
I
get
want
off
to.
the
I want to
sauce.
drink with Chuck, bro. I want to drink with Chuck bad.
You could have
No,
drank
you
with him the
don't.
other day
Ew, you don't. You don't want to do that.
When?
Yeah.
at the crab place. You're too busy flirting.
He had the waitress to worry about, all right?
No,
Because-
yeah. First off, I had to drive. First off, and I'm not trying to get DUI.
No one said to get wasted.
Yeah, you're not Justin
Chuck
Timberlake.
got wasted, bro.
Well, I never drive.
Second off,
so,
I
yeah.
spent all my shillings on. Yeah, Chuck doesn't have to worry about it. Second off, I
Yeah.
spent all my shillings on the fucking food I got. I had no shillings left for beer. Chuck bought me the beer.
Man, that waitress though, she was something else.
Nasty.
She
Hey,
had
Lo, I
wild
should
one.
spit in your crab, dude.
A wild one.
Thanks to
Classic
Zach, she
cigarette,
works
so-
at McDonald's now.
Jesus. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Crab two lady.
Ba-da-ba-ba.
Jeez.
I'm sucking it. Pause. Let's see. It was an. I was gonna make a joke. I didn't
good
make
one.
the joke.
Oh no!
I did not make the joke.
You're talking about OnlyFans or what?
Talking about if you know, you know. Let's see. Interesting week so far. God, dye is really hard to get out of your skin. I'll say that much first and foremost. I've been
Yeah,
working
dude,
on my
look what happened to
Chimere.
Michael.
Wow, that's hilarious. Yeah, I got dye all over my hands. I lost my AirPods. I feel so stupid. Like,
Oof.
That's a
You know,
huge problem with AirPods, though. It's
and
not
I-
just you.
yeah, and
Don't you have
I
them connected? Don't they have like that
hang on.
lost
Let
thing?
me explain. Let me explain.
Okay, Blue Man Group.
Now on the older, what the fuck did you call me? What did he say? Time out. What did you say?
Blue Man
Blue Man
Group.
Group.
Blue Man Group. This is Black Man Group. Are you kidding me?
Hey,
Hey.
Anyways,
I can tell you about being a black man group.
there we go. Anyways,
It was the 60s.
the older.
I
now
miss
I don't know.
Dean's laugh, man.
I don't know how the new ones work, so this may be an ignorant statement. But on the old ones, it only updates the location to the last time you used them. So I took them to work, and I didn't use them between the time I left my house and the time I lost them. And I charged them, so I know if they're at my house, they should still have like a charge that I could connect to them, but I can't connect them for some reason. And I only ran 2 errands, and I used the like I went to those places, asked for lost and found, and tried to connect. I couldn't find it. And I mean, they're old. Victoria's had them for like 4 years, but it's still kind of like, you know, not the best feeling in the world,
Yeah.
to be honest. Like,
Well, they're not
you know.
cheap.
Well,
Yeah.
if somebody picks them up and uses them, can you track that?
now I don't know. I don't know, to be honest. I know that they can't add it to their Find My until
Yeah.
I remove it from mine.
Yeah.
So maybe if they lose it, I could find them again. But
Or if
Yeah,
you open
it
it,
was-
or
Hey,
you
Zach,
know, or
have you ever
connect it.
considered getting a pair of Raycons?
it was Raycons.
Not until
Yeah,
these
these are-
fucking sponsors. Don't give them a free one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
Poor
I-
Thomas. Thomas is like, hey, yeah.
Oops, I took it right now. Yeah, they're I like them. They're really good. They're not overly expensive, but they
Poor
Poor
Thomas.
Thomas. You can
Yeah.
show it off. I was just kidding.
okay.
Thomas
No,
is
I
excited
actually-
to, you know, fucking
Yeah, they're-
Dean comes and just squashes his dreams.
Yeah, they come in the little case that's
Thomas.
chargeable.
I've heard really good things about Raycon.
Yeah, they
See,
you
I
pop
used to
out,
do
and
like
they fit
the
your ears
headphones.
so well.
Yeah, like this, like
Mm-hmm.
the wireless, where it's like the big one because you can't lose it. But sometimes I want to lay in bed and listen to, like, you know, if it's like 2 a.m. and I'm watching TikToks and I'm
Mm-hmm.
giggling to myself, I don't want to wake up the whole house. But man, I just feel stupid. It's like, you know, they weren't mine, and I feel bad that I lost them. And Victoria's like, you know, they're not that expensive. These were old, like they were already broken in some ways. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. I feel real stupid about it, and yeah, I don't know. Just the only thing I can think of, which is crazy, is I was packing orders the night before for Zach's Wonderland, and maybe I put them in a box. I highly doubt that, and no one that received the orders yet has told me they found a AirPod.
Were
But
you
if
in
you
this
have
room
my
or in the-
AirPod,
Or in the craft room?
well, so this is where I do the packing in this office.
Do you look like maybe behind the sofa?
I look
or
everywhere.
someplace-
Well, the
Oh.
thing is, if it's in this room, I can connect to them and it'll ping them for me.
Oh,
But
oh,
all throughout
okay.
my house is saying they're not here. It's saying it's here because that's when I last used them, but I don't think they're actually here.
Here, okay.
And it's really fucking annoying. Like I like tore up where I work at trying to find them. Pain in the ass. We have family coming. My sister-in-law is coming tomorrow from Oklahoma, so that should be nice. She's flying in Thursday, and then she's leaving Sunday night or Sunday morning. So a short little trip, but you know, she only sees Phoebe about 2 or 3 times a year, so that'll be fun to be doing that this weekend. Yeah, it's been, you know, it's been an interesting week. My customs come along great. I was actually talking to this guy on Instagram, and it's funny because sometimes even just a little extra information can really change your outlook on a project. Because I was kind of getting frustrated because in the show he wears like almost like a Jedi tunic with a skirt and then a belt as his base layers, and then over that he has like this almost like a poncho, I guess is the best way to describe it. It's more like a sleeveless dress almost. And I've been really struggling with how to, I don't have fabric. I bought a bunch of fabric to try to make it, but boy, that did not turn out well. And so when I posted my work in progress today, someone said that the cloak that I was using was inaccurate, and I knew it was, but the fact that someone called it out so quickly. But they suggested to use the Stap Anakin poncho, and so I found one of those on eBay, and that's coming in, so I'll dye that black and see what I like better. But overall, I'm at like the 80% done with this custom. It's coming along super good. And I talked to the guy that made the file, and he really liked my work, and he gave me permission to sell prints of the file. So if anyone needs the Toy Mafia, send me an email, please, for the code if you want to. Yeah, don't put it in the comments because it's gonna get stolen. So I'm excited to finish that, and yeah, it's come a long way better, I think, than I was hoping. So we're excited about that. Let's see, is there anything we want to touch on before we go into Acolyte? Anyone have anything at all?
You guys caught that Gladiator 2 trailer, right?
I hated it so much. I hated it. Everything about it.
Denzel getting in on the
Everything
action.
about it?
Literally nothing about it looked like, and I said this yesterday's show, Dean, but it's like, Gladiator is an epic film. It's not even a movie. It's like a film in terms of like the story, like the emotions that you feel when you watch it. And obviously I'm judging a book by its cover, but this just seems more like a fun action flick that attached itself to the Gladiator brand. And I don't feel like they're really going to do enough to justify why this story needs to exist to make that connection. Like, this could have just been any other film about gladiators, but I think it's weird to attach it to a story that felt very final. To give it a sequel is just kind of like
a one and done, told our full story, told what was happening. Boom.
Exactly. A beginning, a middle, and an end. A wonderful.
The hero's dead. The hero's gone. Like, it's over.
Exactly. I don't like it, man. And like I know it's gonna be a fun movie. I'm not doubting that.
It's
I
gonna
know
look
that
good.
Denzel Washington's gonna kill it. Fucking Pedro Pascal's in every fucking movie at this fucking time. Television show, movie, you can't fucking escape him. I think I'm getting burnt out, to be honest, on our boy Pedro Pascal, but I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. Because years ago they said they were making a sequel, and I didn't quite understand how it was going to be possible, and I think it's kind of been in like developmental hell for a long time.
Well, originally they were going to have Maximus get sent back because the god sent him back. That was originally one of the main story pitches.
That would have been wow. Okay, it could be worse.
That would have been Maximus and like fucking Kratos coming in or something like that, invading Rome for
didn't
God of War.
Didn't Maximus have a son?
No,
his son died. His son and his wife died in the movie.
But isn't it heavily implied that the Emperor's kid is his?
I never got that vibe, but it's been a very long time since I watched it.
It's supposed to be implied that
what up, Big Rib?
Lucius is possibly Maximus' son with her.
I gotta watch it again. Maybe I missed the vibes.
Yeah, it is sort of implicated without specifically spelling out. I think purposely, obviously, to leave it nebulous. But like, it's supposed to be, they pivoted towards him, like that, because that was another talk. But I mean, it's just trying to figure out who's the Emperor supposed to be in this movie. I was confused by, because if it's following the actual, now admittedly,
he's the general.
Well, there's Septimus Severus would be the Emperor roughly time wise for how old Lucilius is looking, who was not a terrible emperor. He was actually a good emperor. But it's I'm just wondering about, like, what can they tell us new story wise, even for as good as Ridley Scott is a storyteller, that is going to make even this movie stand out on its own. Because Gladiator is like literally, would you guys probably say, of the 21st century, maybe in the top 10 or 15 movies that's been made, just like at all, like in the last, I'll just say since like 2000, like without going too crazy or something, just this century, it's probably one of the top 10 or 15 movies overall. I mean, you can
Bro.
nitpick about stuff with it and everything,
It's
but
so fucking good.
Oh,
but
what
Ridley
best
Scott was
picture?
still
Big Rip,
I mean,
sorry. I'm drinking my Sprite right now.
yeah, but it really has, it has Ridley Scott where he's still at his like A game and everything with his directing. Obviously, he's always just cinematography wise, he just does some of the best looking movies.
Yeah.
Russell Crowe was at his
I
height
hope. Yeah.
as an actor.
See,
Yeah,
I
Queen
hope.
Ridley Scott
Phoenix.
did Kingdom of Heaven, didn't he?
Fuck
That was
yeah,
a few
dude.
years later. It's because Gladiator was
So, the thing that. This might be ignorant. But I felt like in the first Gladiator. I don't know. Maybe it was some CGI, but it felt like everything felt pretty real. I know, obviously, for the Colosseum, I think that some of that was CGI or set work. But
yeah, it was a lot of it CGI.
seeing, like, the boat battle and everything, like. I just don't want it to be like a fucking vomit of CGI. And I understand in real life that like they did actually flood the Colosseum with water, like that is a real thing. Obviously, that's going to be incredibly difficult to do in camera, but I don't know. I just will I watch it maybe, but I'm not very excited about it to be honest.
It's I think, I mean, I don't know about gladiators riding rhinoceroses or anything like that, but
That was actually nice, honestly.
that was the one part I just went, because I'm sure that gladiator guy is some like from the first movie, like a really well known gladiator guy or something who's gonna
Yeah.
fight
I think
that.
some films just need to be left alone, personally.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy.
Space-
Definitely.
or,
Space
not
Jam
Final-
2.
Not Final Fantasy. I was gonna say Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, well, maybe in 5 that one would have been
Yeah.
left alone.
Like what's next? We're gonna get a fucking Interstellar 2? Like, fuck, dude. Let
Oh,
a
don't
story
even ruin
end.
one of the best movies.
That's what I'm saying. This is
In
the
my
equivalent
lifetime.
to me. This
Yeah.
is the equivalent of that to me. Fucking Titanic 2.
but
it's all about the submarine that went
but
down.
that is just a trailer.
How the
Now-
ship
But
dissolved
so-
over time.
I'm still going to go see it because I really like the first movie
Malcolm
and
X
everything.
2.
Now I might, yeah, well,
Muhammad
maybe,
Ali 2.
yeah.
Matrix Unloaded.
Jesus
Two.
Christ. There you go. They already unloaded it, bro.
Yeah,
Fucking
yeah,
Matrix
yeah,
4,
we
that
did
movie
that all
sucked.
over.
I
But-
remember everyone was saying how bad the Matrix 4 was, and I was like, "There's no fucking nope." They were
Bro,
fucking
it was so
right.
bad. Companies were
right,
gonna
bro.
companies were gonna make statues and they canceled the project. That's how bad.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
Oh
it's-
boy. Here we go. Let's
Go.
change pace a bit.
Yeah.
Let's go Acolyte.
It was something.
So this is the penultimate episode, and I will be honest. I had a lot of criticisms about some of the plot in episode 3 of the show. It's interesting seeing it from the other side and like now having the complete story, because Dean, you were saying like, did the Jedi kill all these people? Like, how the fuck is everyone dead? I had an issue with how the fire spread so quickly and how like this whole room full of people's dead like for no reason. How crazy the kid was, which again, from the one perspective, it makes sense, but seeing it on the other perspective, like her actions weren't as bad as we were led to believe. I think it did a lot for the show, and unfortunately, I think in some ways it also took away from the show. I didn't really understand why Soul was so like hyper fixated on saving this little girl he just saw once and like absolutely needing to be her master. Some people are saying it was real creepy, and I perhaps wouldn't go that far, but it definitely seemed odd. It definitely seemed
Bro,
odd.
there was a lot that seemed odd about this.
There was odd.
There was, that's
Some
a
of-
minor oddity in
Yeah.
the greater
The
scheme
saber
of this.
work. The saber work was fantastic. That Padawan, that motherfucker was moving that thing, bro. Just
Yeah.
fucking, probably some of the cleanest saber work I've seen since like Hayden Christensen in the prequels. He was very talented with the stuntman that played that role. I didn't really understand the confrontation. Like, it seemed like Mother Anastasia was like really aggressive, and then she like disapparated along with May, and then she got stabbed, and she's like, "Oh, well, I was actually gonna let her go with you." So it's like, then why did you do all that? Like,
that character flip, like from the first half of the episode. I'm sorry.
yeah,
There is so much in this was show. If I think overall, I actually like the episode. I still hate episode 3 more than that, but by a long shot. But there were some just this episode, I think, more than anything, showed overall the shortcomings of the writing for this series. Where this more than anything, I saw at some points what they were trying to go for,
yeah,
and they failed miserably for trying to explain why stuff was happening. Other than Saul, there are 2 things. I'm sorry, but the Mother Anastasia, who was the leader, where I was feeling very much like in the first flashback episode that I was kind of seeing maybe that there was the Jedi are misinterpreting these where they were. It looked like they were going to paint the Jedi just as bad guys, and I didn't like the sound.
That's what I felt. Yeah,
Felt like they did.
And they still did it a little bit, but not as bad as it was thinking it seemed. But she seemed to be like that. The witches, and especially her, were supposed to be a little bit more sympathetic.
yeah,
But then she goes off. I mean, she would be a freaking evil Darksider
yeah.
in the whole trying to influence Tormund, and
Which I love the like his point of view of that scene was really cool. I actually really like that.
But she was evil, man. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. She was evil and being presented as evil. That was Darksider, Jedi destroying the dark side. That's what they're supposed to do. If these ladies are all like this, they gotta die, man. Because they're gonna spread the dark side and like cause destruction across the galaxy. That's what happens with Darkseid. Force movers. That's what they do. Now the Zabrak, the Zabrak mom, the other mother, I can't remember her name. I know some people can just call her Mall Lady since she's the same race. Her character, I just didn't get why she was so aggressive, but I thought maybe they were trying to show the kind of dichotomy for like what May and Osha, how they are, is like one mother is very much kind of middle of the road balance, while the other mother is very aggressive and maybe more dark side leaning, which could explain why May and Osha are kind of the way they are. You know, they each took after one of their mothers a little bit more. But her actions are just wacky, and she just is picking a fight, and she didn't Saul could have annihilated her, and basically he got the crap beat out of him for no reason.
I didn't understand Soul's I'm not gonna fight you, but I'm gonna fight you, but I already killed someone. That was kind of weird to me.
Anybody? I had a question for one thing to make sure I was not seeing this wrong. To kind of explain, because I think one of the actions that you're left going wait, why did you do that? Was during the confrontation. Oh wait, should we have spoiler stuff up?
No, I'm not worried about that. I'll put it
up. When you're watching the scene, if you guys saw it, where Anissa starts going black smoke raven form or whatever she starts doing.
Yeah.
Does not it look like May starts disintegrating or something?
That's what I'm saying.
It looked like she was gonna kill her.
Soul was trying to save her from whatever that was, and the only other time that we see it is when the other lady escapes.
Yeah, and she just leaves, right?
Yeah.
She just disappears. I wasn't sure. I thought she took over the Wookiee Jedi.
Well, no, the rest of the Coven did.
Yeah.
Kanako.
And what happened to them was one of the stupidest things I've ever seen.
I actually laughed.
I can hear the director going.
I literally laughed out loud. I loved the episode, but that shit was so funny. They're just ugh.
Yeah, I know.
And then I guess they got blown up that.
Well, they're all supposed to. No, they're supposed to be dead. They died. So
I don't think she killed them. I think that they kind of got knocked out. I think that
they imply they're dead.
Dude, I think they died. The power of many. I think they're a hive mind and they died collectively.
That's what I'm thinking.
what Indara used the Force to like force kill
No,
them?
it was breaking the connection to Kanaka.
She severed the connection.
It doesn't make any sense at all.
Mm.
Like why it would kill them, because why would you use a power that will get you murdered, that you dead, or something like that? That doesn't make any sense. Kill everybody. But like that, to me, that was the stupidest moment I ran into in this episode. Like, there's no explanation for why this was happened. There was no explanation saying like even a line or two that says, "Don't use this power. It's dangerous to use it. Guys should not use it." Because maybe the witches were saying, "We're going to use this on Osha to make sure she doesn't leave," or something like that. Some explanation beforehand. Also, they all can do it. Like, the biggest problem, I see some decent ideas in this, but it's the writing for executing them. Half the time leaves you and Dean, I don't know if some of you guys are seeing this. It leaves you confused why stuff is happening, and I think it helps make the characters look stupider, because you can see like Zach said, I think he stabbed the one thing because I think he believed that the one other character was in trouble. But the way it's so haphazardly, or there's no explanation about anything of this happening before, or even a line or two of dialogue that kind of foreshadows it. We're left to say, I'm thinking what the writer was thinking, what the character was doing, what's going on in their head.
Yeah. So
I like what
DJ says.
ahead.
Let me get this real quick. They're defending the girls, which they believe is the future of their people. Am I the one seeing what I'm seeing? It makes sense they would sacrifice themselves to the power of one, power of two, power of many. She was just trying to protect her daughters, is the way I saw it, which I get. But then it's like the next line when she's dying is like, "Oh, she chose you. I was gonna let her go anyways." So it's like, then why not say that? Because it seemed like as soon as they walked in, it was like, "Bro, fucking about to die, bro. We got arrows on you and shit." Like, it's obviously a very hostile scene. To then get stabbed and say like, "Oh, they were gonna go with you," it just, that to me, like, there's a lot of poor writing in the show, but that was like,
just tell them she chose you, and that would diffuse the entire. But then you can have everybody die. So it like had to happen, and I hate that.
A lot of things just don't come across like to make sense. Why wouldn't you have this leader of their, why wouldn't you have what's her name? Anastasia. Why wouldn't she come forward with that immediately? Like, I've decided to let one of my daughters go with you because this is her choice. The other is deciding to stay with us. Like, you just like present that right away. And then they do have Saul kind of being very like, again, too aggressive with wanting Osha. Like, I guess he senses maybe that she wants to go. I'm not really sure. They don't really kind of clarify.
Well, she tells them that she wants to go.
Right. Yeah.
Like, straight up verbatim.
And even though, Indara says the council said no, he's insistent, which I think maybe might lead back to the stuff with the stranger. Maybe it's because he let that guy down in some way and is trying to now make amends. Maybe we're going to get that in the last episode. I don't know, but this was my my least favorite episode thus far. I think maybe mainly because it went back to flashback right after it had kind of gotten good after 2 episodes, and it felt like, oh, great, you're sending us back to the past.
And we only have 1 episode left. This is like why that was one of the longer episodes, wasn't it? 2 in comparison to like 5 and 6. It was like 42 minutes or something like that. I know that's all the credit crap. Yeah. But like, there's no way you can wrap up everything here in any kind of coherent way. We didn't see any darks. Why wasn't that like half the episode? Don't re-show us all.
Right.
Why are we watching the Jedi use metal detectors?
Like that
space fantasy thing. I'm
like, he put a leaf in a box, and then they're like, "Okay, we're gonna go put another leaf in this box."
$180 million, and we use metal detectors and say there's some sort of funny force. Like, John's heard enough, man. He's just like, I can't take it anymore. I can't
it's
hear
like, shouldn't the Jedi be doing something?
I'm hearing something. I heard something.
Just something more important than collecting fucking samples? Like,
we got no one else to do this,
right?
But
like,
I also think we're in a time of peace, right? So the Jedi kind of don't really have a necessarily a purpose. I mean, at this point,
they're fulfilling their mission of peacekeepers, and like the other thing I was kind of confused by was why does Torben have any guilt for anything?
Well, I think because
He didn't kill
he is
anybody.
he's the instigator of what happened.
Yeah, because the whole wanting to get home to Coruscant thing, right?
Yeah,
Like,
he
he's-
threw like a fit, and then it led to.
He doesn't
to-
kill anybody.
Yeah, but if you did an
Dara
action that
kill
led to
people?
like 60
Saul
people
killed
being killed.
somebody, and May got people killed. He killed
Yeah, but
no one.
that was all reaction to him getting on that bike and leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was perfectly satisfied with like, okay, that makes sense. Because if after episode 3, it's like all he did was take her blood, and then he felt guilty enough about that. Like that doesn't make any sense.
Right.
This to
I-
me at least felt a little satisfying.
I
Like,
did
okay,
not
I
buy
get it.
where he would commit suicide though. And just say, "Hey, here I've been sitting in a force trance for 10 years. I'll take poison and die now." I'm sorry, I don't quite see that jump in logic, unless something else bad happened in between that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
I thought DJ had some really excellent points, though, about their motives being just defending the kids. I mean, like, sometimes that's a simple enough motive, you know, to...
Yeah, I can get
Be
that
aggressive.
for Anisha. Yeah, but why did the Zabrak mother just leave? She left her coven to die.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. She just took off, huh?
I thought
Yeah.
I thought first she took over, like actually took over the Wookiee, and then I was like, along with them, the coven was maybe supporting her, and then because I thought she talked from inside, like saying, "You shouldn't have brought him here."
Right.
And then I thought, but then someone was like, and this is where it's confusing with the storytelling and the visuals. We should understand what's going on. Because if the Zabrak, I was asking, why didn't the Zabrak lady fall dead? Then I was like, wait, did she just run away and leave all her other sisters after she's one that helped start the stupid fight? She just runs away. Like what? Like, huh?
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about. It was a real mess, and I think it does help explain things better for the other flashback episode, but it didn't have any surprises, really. I guess other than at least we didn't see the Jedi just murder face everybody, like we were kind of worried that they were going to show him doing.
Yeah.
And of course, I was kind of like, too, why didn't Saul just grab both girls and just use the Force and pull them over to him?
Yeah.
Well, I think he only really wanted to save one. That's kind of
Yeah.
another like layer they're adding in there, is that where he had maybe the ability to save both, but didn't even try to save the one he didn't want.
Well, no, he
So-
couldn't. He was. I'm saying
He
the
did.
choice he made to try and support
But
them.
I think
I
if you make that argument, like, I think that type of argument, and Dean and I have mentioned this a long time, but I think you can make that argument with any film and drastically change the plot. Like, oh, in A New Hope, why didn't they just shoot that escape pod? Boom, movie's over. Like,
Why didn't he just force heal Qui-Gon?
yeah, exactly.
Right.
I do think one of the better explanations that I saw was like, hey, his stamina is drained. He just fought Kalnaka. He just fought the Zabrak chick. You know, he's got to deal with this now. And in that moment, that was his reaction was to catch the bridge. So I don't know. Jedi aren't perfect people.
Yeah. And I think also too, at this point, they haven't really encountered anything. They've been collecting samples and stuff like that. So
Yeah, and I think that goes to Chuck's point. It's like, you know, they might not be as ready for the shit that the fan is like the Jedi we're used to, who are like war generals and on the front lines for a decade by episode 3.
Did you not pick this up? I saw this in the comments there. Mitchell says that the Jedi were taking samples because the planet wasn't supposed to have any life due to radiation.
Yeah, I
some type of
understood that.
radiation.
Yeah,
Okay,
they were
I
trying to
didn't pick
find
that
that. Yeah, so they mentioned that there was a hyperspace incident, which is from the phase 1 of I think it's the Old Republic comics or books, and it essentially destroyed all the life on that planet. And so the fact that there was life there, I think they were trying to find why, and it was from
Okay.
that vergence. So
Okay, interesting.
yeah,
That was also really weird because it's like, okay, so did they know the witches were there in that?
no.
Okay, that's the weird thing because I was like, okay, so this is like a huge like mining facility or something, It wasn't on anybody's fucking charts or radar or planet. Like, you landed next to it, you couldn't see it on top of a fucking mountain. Hey, let's go check out that fucking facility there.
So it's my understanding that the planet had life at one point. Then this event happened and it killed the life on the planet. So there was already things there, and basically everyone died from that. At least that's the vibe that I got. Like, that was a established planet, I think.
Yeah.
And then this event happened and killed everything on the planet.
Yeah. And Mark says there that they found the kids by accident. I feel like there was a lot of intersecting things that happened that it could have just maybe more easily been explained by a few sentences, and we could have got something else. Maybe we could have had Saul basically was telling May, "Look, I'm going to tell you, and you're going to listen." You know, it could have been just one thing, like, well, you know, May didn't really cause the fire, or May did cause the fire, but he could have said
cause the fire.
Yeah, I think there was,
It was
another way they
all
could have gone
right.
about it. Yeah, like
50
the fire
bits
he
per
caused,
gram.
you know. So
Big Rip says, "You tell him, Dean, fuck that mountain."
It just seemed kind of weird. Like, what? Nobody thought to fucking look at this place? It's not on anyone's fucking charts. The Jedi have no fucking clue this big mining facility is supposed to be here.
yeah.
I mean, you knew a fucking catastrophe happened on the planet, so you just deleted all the fucking data on the planet?
Data, please.
No, data is a name. Data is a unit of measurement.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't know that's how that worked. Interesting. All I know is I want to see my boy back in action. If the show doesn't end with Plagueis or Tenebris, I think it would probably be Tenebris. I got to go back and look at the
Don't you
canon, or
get
the legends.
tenebrous if you sit in the rain? Your knees get tenebrous, no?
I think it's tinnitus. I think, maybe arthritis.
Tenebrae.
Can't believe you guys are actually watching this.
That would be a good reveal, but I think I don't like the way that Disney does shows lately. Like, this is an untested show. Like, for Game of Thrones, right? Like, I'm not, well, I guess I shouldn't say that, but that's a terrible similarity thing. I guess it's like I want them to write shows that can wrap up in one season, because there's no guarantee we're going to get a second season of this show.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of interesting questions left unanswered if it only gets one season. That, I felt like some of their other programs maybe didn't have the cleanest ending season to season and left some threads open. Like, their other shows, I felt like in their finales had some sense of like, okay, like this could be the last episode of this program. At least that's how I felt so far with the Star Wars shows that I've watched.
Do you feel like this Disney should prepare for the fact that because of all the fan, backlash always, no matter what, having a backup way to wrap it up if they don't get a second season? Like, they could probably do it in Tales, right? Like Tales of the Jedi or Tales of the Empire,
Or comics, yeah, but that's lame.
Yeah, I know you don't want to think that. I mean, but it's kind of like, you're right. I mean, like,
But I
there's
think-
always.
I think, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of channels that I used to watch that I just can't watch anymore, even before this show. It has nothing to do with this show in particular.
Yeah.
Channels that I really genuinely love related to Star Wars that are just like super fucking toxic. And I'm not saying that they're right or wrong to be as upset as they are, but sometimes it just seems like some channels, and I get it. Like, I've seen the results myself. Like, Dina, I've always said, like, when you do a negative video, like, it always does better than a positive video.
Right.
And it's hard to not want to continue to do that when you don't see the results on your positive videos. But I just feel like there's some channels now that are just like going on TikTok today is like, the snippets of the bigger channels. It's like, bro, it's exhausting to hear them bitch as much as they're bitching. And with this
Yeah.
show, sure, maybe it's warranted, but it's like, bro, everything, like, nothing is like, even the shows that I think people generally think is good, just hearing the bitching and moaning about like those shows. This show, I like it, but I can say, like, yes, what Lane is saying is right. There's some goofy shit. What Dean's saying is right. There's some weird writing. There's a lot of shit that's bad about the show. I'm having fun personally. That doesn't mean it's for everybody. But again, I've kind of at this point accepted like, okay, this isn't going to be a great show, so at least I'm going to have fun watching it. But fuck, dude, there's just such toxicity.
well, no,
it's
I
like
like-
mentally exhausting. Like
Yeah.
people that just watch something to hate watch it really fucking pisses me off. Like
It's
if you
like,
don't
I
like
like-
it, that's fine, but don't watch
Right.
it just to get
Right.
the views and then bitch and moan the whole time and then act like it's the worst thing ever and ruin your day. It's like, why are you watching it then? Like, do you not have
Right.
anything better to do?
It's like almost they're in competition to see who can like hate
It
most,
the
you know what I
hardest.
mean?
Like, fuck, dude, you made an
Right.
hour-long video essay about how bad this shit was. Like,
yeah,
What,
yeah.
what
Fuck,
was
dude.
what was your question, Zach?
wait, what?
Oh, did you? I thought you asked me a question.
Oh no, I was just saying like you and I have noticed like when we do a negative video like top 10
Oh.
worst hot toys or top 10 whatever,
Yeah.
worse, it will do better than if it's like our favorite whatever.
Worst
It's
always
just
does
drama.
better. That's just
Yeah.
the way people are more attracted to
Yeah, the hate
95% of the time. Yeah. But I will say that I will disagree. Like, I hate the first 4 episodes of this show. I think they're all some of the worst Star Wars I've ever seen. But they're definitely not the worst show I've ever seen by any
Yeah.
means of the imagination.
I mean, the thing is, like, because it's kind of like rage bait, except in the chat or the comments of these videos, it's not people that are disagreeing. It's all people who are upset about what's happening. So
Right.
it's not your typical, it's like people are legitimately upset. I mean, this episode, there's one episode left. It's already not in the top 10 streaming shows currently on the air.
Ooh.
Bridgerton season 1, 2, and 3 are all above it. That show is, I mean, seasons 1 and 2 are old at this point, and it's
Yeah.
outperforming because people would rather fucking watch that.
Well,
It's
like,
like,
the most recent season of Suits, which was very, very popular when it went on Netflix, they added the final season. Those episodes did better recently.
Well,
What's weird,
Bridgerton
though-
also was kind of awesome though. So
I've heard Bridgerton's really good, but that's
Yeah.
my point. It's like Star Wars is not outperforming Bridgerton. Like, what fucking dark timeline are we on?
well, it's not part of Shondaland.
It's just
Well,
fucking crazy.
I think that the writing is really always in any production has to be what carries it. If the story is good, people are going to watch it. I don't know that this story is necessarily that good because I think we all kind of knew by episode 3 that there was going to be some turn, so we were waiting for the
Yeah.
reveal, and like it really wasn't very, you have these two sisters, you know what I mean? Like, I think I would have been more interested to see a show that just took us back to that time and showed us how things were around that time. Yeah, you need a protagonist per se, but you could have just focused on this one guy, like the guy that they use, and have him kind of meandering around and figuring out Sith whatever, and becoming
Yeah.
the first guy in many years to find an apprentice and so on and so forth. I just think they could have tightened it up a little bit. You know what I mean? It
Toy
didn't-
Mafia, I love you. I did get the code. You're the fucking best, bro.
Yeah.
One thing that I really enjoy is the TikTokers that react to the hate reacts, and one of them that really made me laugh. I don't know if I can find it right now, but it was a famous Star Wars YouTuber that was like, the prequels had better choreography, and this shit is so goofy. Like, they're just waiting their turn to fight, and then he's like, oh, okay. So then he played a clip of the episode 1 fight that this guy was bragging about Duel of the Fates, and like basically every criticism that he was saying, he was like, oh, you mean like this or like this or like this. And it's like, I mean, if you look hard enough, like, one day what I would really love is if some of these hate watchers would watch like episodes, even the better show episodes, Dean. Like, you and I've always told you, like, if you really break it down, like, there is some goofy shit that happened in the original trilogy, or there's some stupid plan that they have that is like a 1 in a trillion plan that just somehow perfectly worked out. Like, but we love it, right? And it's like, I would love for them to have that same lens and look at their favorite parts of the franchise and see if it holds up to the standard that they want it to hold. And I think it would be interesting. I do think it would be interesting.
You know, and Zach, and even in the original trilogy, all right, I was living in Star Wars Nirvana about the original trilogy, and I bought the box set, and I have one of my sisters, my middle sister, had never seen Star Wars, so I said, well, listen, I got the box set. Why don't we sit down and watch it? She was here visiting. And I put on the first episode, and I think the first episode was of New Hope. There's that point where they went into the where they're in the snow, and the big snow monster came out.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
mean episode 5?
Was it or was it episode
That's
4?
that's Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
okay. Well,
episode 5.
whichever one that was in.
Maybe the best, considered the best movie of all the Star Wars.
We were playing that, and my sister looked at us. She said, "Boy, those special effects are pretty bad." And I was sitting there, and I looked at it and said, "Wow." Looking at it through a second lens of now, I was like, "Yeah, those special effects were pretty bad." But you know, back in 1977, they were kind of awesome. Right. I'm sorry.
80.
Well, whenever the that one came out, I remember the first one came out in 77, and so when I was a kid, of course, you know, I had built up in my head how fantastic it was, but you know, when you look at it in a new lens, you know, from a different time frame, it kind of obscures the vision a little bit, and so so when these people come back and complain, I'm like, listen, you have to take in context to when it was made. I mean, back in the day where we didn't have access to all of the technology and things that we have now, they were using a lot of practical effects. They're doing a lot of different things that in today's standards might not look as polished, but back then, these were things that we had never seen before. Just like Superman. You know, with Christopher Reeves, I remember the thing, "You will believe a man can fly," and we went in there believing a man could fly, and back then it really did feel like that. Going back and look at it now, I can see, knowing what we know now about special effects, I'm like, okay, yeah, yeah, he's not really flying. You know, I can see it right now, but you know, but we have to take into context that we'd never seen that before when the movie came out, and I think that people are looking at it through the wrong set of lenses.
Yeah.
Well said, Thomas. Let's end it here. I think we've touched them all. We'll have a riveting discussion next Wednesday on the finale. The one thing that I really want to see is Hot Toys put up to Stranger Baby. I want to see some Hot Toys from this because I was kind of bummed that we didn't get anything from Andor. Yeah, I was kind of bummed about that. So we'll see if we see anything. I don't know. Probably
I wouldn't hold my breath. I wouldn't hold my breath on this one.
Yeah.
I think there's a reason we got like so many dark.
Was that the one that had Diego Luna in it?
Yeah,
that's correct.
Yeah. Oh, that was a
Big
good.
fan.
I saw a couple of episodes. I enjoyed what I saw of that one.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We love you. We'll catch you on the next episode. And I don't normally in After Dark, dude. I don't remember actually. You just say bye. Bye.
That's what Dean says. That.
I got a little
that's
confused
nice.
there.
Bye.
Bye.